So, again, just demonstrating. This is a regular ass slow bomber. So we're just gonna pitch here. So here's our sweet spot, right?
Yeah,
We're
do
turning.
it, do it around the command tower, Chris.
I hate you. Okay.
Yep.
All right, right. So here's how this works. And similarly, right, if you just boost, right, it's not very boosty maneuverable. Like you fall out of drifts pretty quickly. You can't really turn around all that well. Like see how long it took to turn around for that drift. I was only yawing, so like it's gonna be a little slower, but I'm just trying to show the rate change differences. So some really smart people that did a lot of experimenting figured out some pretty cool stuff. So while I was doing that, all my power was in engines. So let me demonstrate what happens if we switch our power to weapons. So powers and weapons out of engines, we're going to boost, drift, and now we're going to look to the side and see how long we're drifting towards the middle of nowhere. We're still drifting. There we go. Now we finally stopped drifting. So it lasts, I don't know what the exact amount of extra time it was, but significantly higher. So the advantage here is, so one, your weapons will be charging while you're drifting, which is cool and good. But more importantly, that means we can start shooting in directions we're not facing. So let's say we're a rebel player, and we want to kill this Star Destroyer.
So teaching us how to exploit.
Yeah, we're exploiting. Okay, so we are going to go on this shield generator. So here, we'll start here. We're going to put all our weapon into our power into weapons, right? We're going to boost. We're going to aim at the shield generator. We're going to shoot. You can see we're still traveling that way, and we're shooting at the shield generator, which is a nice way to, because again, like you saw with, ow, okay, you saw with the patch changes.
You hate to see
You
it.
hate to see it. Yeah.
Dragon, you hate to see it.
Christ. So you saw with the patch changes, right? One of the things they nerfed is you can't just take bombers and go, or you can't take ships in general and park them on shield gens. Bombers are kind of the exception, but you can't go park on subsystems. You'll just like instantly die. So this lets you keep uptime on, like in its most basic form, this lets you keep uptime on the thing that you're shooting, because you can shoot it while you're moving in a different direction and therefore not dying. Okay. So that is what people refer to as dead drifting, and it's like how to keep uptime on, because when interceptors are drifting around you and doing crazy shit, you can't turn fast enough to shoot them, right? So you have to start like shooting backwards at them, basically. So what people call retro drifting, which again I really hate the cutesy names people put on this stuff, but
They were shockingly probably all X-wing players, because God knows we have to name everything.
yeah, but anyways, right? So I'm gonna put my throttle to half because it works better to demonstrate here. But so here's how fast we turn around, right? If we're not doing anything special. And while we're doing this, we're super easy to shoot. If we boost, right, we can drift some and turn around a little faster. But if you, I'm gonna do this direction actually, so that you can actually see the speed gauge. But if you boost and then drift as you hit the peak of the direction you're changing, you can turn around significantly faster, and you can't see here, but you're ludicrously difficult to hit while you're doing this, because the person shooting you has to guess when you're going to do your next drift to be able to hit you, because you're moving very quickly in a very tight circle. So unless they're coming at you from, so realistically you wouldn't be doing this in a circle.
You're chain boosting up the drift.
We need to go into practice to show that what it looks like, because from the outside, you're not going in a circle with that. You're like going in this weird piecewise.
God, piecewise. God, you lost him. What he said, it's a very like rough. It's like a square with rounded edges, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because for half the time when it looks like the viewport is shifting there, that is not your direction of travel. You're still drifting in some direction, so it's very difficult to... Okay, so I guess I'll just do like a regular drift first and then dead drift so you can see the length that they go.
Yep.
Alright, so this direction.
Yep.
So if I start from here, and here's just a regular drift. Right?
You see how fast his velocity picked back up and he started going the direction he was moving.
Yep, and then if you do a dead drift, and there are other ships that dead drift more than interceptors, to be honest. But
yep.
Now here's a dead drift.
Yep, you see how far backwards he's going
Still there? Going backwards. Now I'm starting to go for it. Now I'm back to regular speed. So yep. So yeah, you go quite a bit further, and you're charging your weapons while you're doing it, which is a nice little perk. So.
Or your shields, right, if you're in Rebels. But if you're dead drifting is usually an uptime thing, not a running away from people thing, so you're usually going to be charging your weapons.
Alright, so I guess I'll do a retro drift with throttle at full first. Whoop.
Oh.
So good. Okay.
So you can see...
Am I on the right plane? I'm on the wrong
plane.
Yeah,
no, you're good, you're good, you're good. We can see fine.
Alright, Alright, let me make sure I got boost power.
Yep, so you can see this is a very big circle, well...
Yeah, hold on. Okay.
10 years
that was
later.
that was wrong. Okay, here we go.
Alright. There you go. So this is what we're talking about, where you're hard to hit. And again, he's going in one direction, not twisting or
And I'm
yawing.
also doing it at the same rate. If I like let one boost go longer, change this, then
and
then
we're
it's
at the best possible angle to be hitting him here from this side angle, because we can see exactly what he's doing. If you want to bring some rolls and such into it, I still have a good enough angle on you that it should be clear.
And this is again full throttle. So let me get boost again, and then I'll do it at half, because it does matter. Because your speed, I guess, comes back to half in the middle. Of the drift. So. Okay. So all right. So I'm just gonna do full half throttle for all of this. But all right. And you see how fast I'm turning around as well. Crazy fast. And then you can just, if you're actually turning and corkscrewing and stuff.
Yeah, like you can see, I mean, I'm a friendly ship, so you can't see the red reticule that would be popping up.
Oh, you almost see it!
Whoa! But I mean, you can see it's not impossible to hit these ships, but it's very close to. Like missiles are significantly more effective just because they'll lock on range.
If you do a dead drift style, you can just go like way the hell over here, and then way the hell this way, and then way the hell this way, and then it becomes very difficult to hit. So.
Okay, so
the other thing to note too, when you are dodging like that, first just get used to doing that and not hitting stuff. Second, you want to, like, when you see people on you, you want to start chaining some of your things towards them, because you're moving way more quickly when you're near them than you are away. But
so Andrew, can you just put your speed at half and try to get behind me, and I'll do the same to you?
Sure.
All right.
Where are you?
I'm right behind you. So you start turning, and then.
Oh, we're out of. Yep. Hold on.
All right. I'll follow you wherever.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. So so I'm not gonna boost here, so you can see. Oh, you're just turning. Sorry. So try to get behind me basically, but without changing your throttle or boosting.
Yeah.
So you can see. Like, I'm never realistically gonna get a meaningful shot here, but as soon as we start. Come on, joystick. There we go. As soon as we start boosting and drifting, you can see I got a joust on him there.
Oh, you almost hated to see it though.
Yeah, I really did. And then now we're effectively behind him.
Yeah, and I think that's a good default. Like if you're in a turning battle, like what a lot of people do is just a quick boost out, and then kind of drift back to have a joust. Now, of course, you got to know that you want to do a joust with whatever target that is.
Right.
But at the very least, just getting away and then reacquiring them is normally better than trying to just turn to.
So, but let's say we're not in an interceptor, right? So let's say I'm in an X-wing or a TIE fighter. So can you just turn battle me again real quick?
Sure.
You hate to see it. All right. Anyways, so even if I'm doing that retro drifting, it's going to be hard for me to line up meaningful shots because he's also an interceptor. He's going to be boosting like crazy. So instead, this is where the dead drift is useful, right? We're going to dump our power to weapons. We're going to boost. We're going to drift, and then we're going to shoot at him coming in towards us. And we're the fighter. We have more health, right? If we're jousting, we're winning. So this is good news. I want to talk about.
So one of the other things I think people don't use enough to their advantage is when you're targeted on someone, you get this portrait of their ship. Yeah, that's not just graphical. That shows the relative orientation of their ship to you, right? So when they're aiming at you, they show as lined up. Like, I guess, Chris, yours is the primary recording here. So when I'm aiming at you, I show as lined up.
Yeah, so you can see, we see the direct front. Well, now we don't. But while he was aimed at us, we saw the direct ship. Yep. So it's almost like our rear view camera we have on him. But it's not rear view. It's omnidirectional, and whatever happened, he happens to be around us.
It's just that if no matter where I am, say even if I'm below you, as soon as I aim at you, you'll see me as like head on.
Yep, so we can see him rolling. So I'm going to pull up here so we can see that he's not directly behind us, right? He's above us. Yep. So, but as we do this, you can see the only thing that's changing is his roll because his orientation with respect to us isn't changing. But that means you pick up lots of cool information. So hit us. What you got, Andrew?
Yeah, so like we can do this in either direction or whatever. But like if I'm shooting at, why don't you just sort of go fly over this way?
Sure. Where's this way?
Just over to the side of the map somewhere.
Okay, I'm gonna go over here. Yeah, you start chasing me.
Yeah, and
so
then
I'm just gonna kind of.
And I'm just gonna try to track you.
Yep.
But you see, I can keep track of him here.
Yep, and you can
Oh, wait.
see as he's looking at me, you can see, you know,
Yep.
like we can see as he's tracking, aiming me and everything.
Yep.
So I'm gonna start drifting here, and you can see as he lines up shots, we can start drifting again. So he's getting
as soon
close
as you
to
go,
us.
you see that I lose the tracking because I don't know where you're going, and then I have to follow and line it up.
Yep, and then he's close to us
Okay.
again, so we can drift off.
Yeah. And the key is, yeah, you know when I'm getting a shot lined up by looking at the portrait. And so that's the point where just drift until I have the shot lined up again.
And yeah,
and
change
then get away,
directions, right? So to be
Yep.
clear, what I'm doing here is I'm boosting, and then as I'm starting to drift, and then when the reticule lines up, so he's got a shot on me, we're just boosting again so that he can't shoot us.
Yep.
Oh! We're fine. It's fine. We're all good.
That's a good first approximation for how to just dodge and drift, especially when you're running away from something. So, point of view now.
Yeah. I got you. So we're gonna
Yeah.
try to shoot Mr. Punk User,
Yeah.
and you can see.
This is the most useful when it's like when you're trying to go in a direction, like back to your cruiser.
Yep, and you know you can see like
Yep.
it's hard.
And you're kind of far away now, so
Yeah, I'll catch up
you
some.
get a little closer.
There you go. Yep. You're good.
Yep.
I just need some weapons energy.
Yep,
There.
that's fine.
So yeah, you know, if we're gonna try to get shots on him
He's
here.
off. Now he's getting on me, so I just boost right back across his line.
Yep, and you know, at some point we're just gonna have to like drift around ourselves, and now we've really lost him, right?
Yep. And then eventually, once he gets to 700 or so, then you can be a little less aggressive because his shots now take so long to get to you that becomes kind of the factor. But excuse me, AI.
Oh, I was trying to yeet you and I missed.
Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. AI.
Oh,
Oh, it's beautiful.
you love to see it.